And from that centre hole there, if I mark 100mm, we won't cut it out all the way to that point, we'll just wherever you feel is about right, just round the end over there like that. And then the other thing to do is we have to drill a hole for the dowel, and to make this a cam it has to be off-centered. So to do that we need to go 3mm along the line, and then 90 degrees off that, 3mm that way. Hopefully you can see that. It would be more obvious in the plans anyway, so that is where we need to drill the hole. This end of the clamp gets fixed to the steel bar, and the steel bar is a piece of 1-inch steel galvanised tubing, and this is the layout of this end of the clamp. So these two pieces in the bar get fixed into place, and this one here gets fixed into place, and then this block here slides between, and it's the cam that pushes it. You should probably glue the bar in place with some epoxy or construction adhesive or anything else you can think of, but just to make things easier and make the project move along a bit faster, I'm going to do it with hot glue. Now we need to fix this piece here, and this piece holds the moving block in place, and we'll push it up nice and tight while we fix it. I should have paid more attention when ripping these blocks down to size. They need to be the same thickness as the bar, and they're just a little bit under. So to fix that, I'm just going to take the top off that bar with the angle grinder. It's not much, it's only a little bit, so I can fix it. On the other end of the clamp, it has to move freely along the bar until it's in the required position, and then this part here, it moves and it pushes down and it clamps against the bar and against this bottom piece that's fixed here. And then these two pieces that I've got my fingers on, they are fixed as well, and they're guides for this moving block here. And it's the cam that pushes this block down onto the bar. But there's one other thing we have to do. Even though there's a fair bit of surface area along this fixed part here and this moving block, it still, even under pressure, won't hold the bar in place. The bar will creep a little bit. So what we have to do is make that into a break, and to do that we could either glue a piece of rubber on these two surfaces, or what I've done is I've smeared hot glue along there, and that seems to work pretty good too. I'll glue these down, and then what I need to do is I need to leave just a little bit of clearance, just around about 1 millimetre, maybe a touch more than that, just so when the block is pushing down it's not restricted by the block itself. This is just to guide it and keep it straight. The clamp's very easy to use. You just take your workpiece, push it up to this pad here, and this lever needs to be in the down position, and then we take the tail end, push it up to the workpiece, and we lock that down, and then we can use this lever to apply pressure to the workpiece, and it really does work very well. This clamp's made for doing a glue up. If you wanted to keep applying pressure, then you couldn't really do that because there's only so much travel. So if you had something with say twisted timber and there's a fair old gap and you're trying to close that up, well, this couldn't do that. And plus it probably hasn't got the force to be able to do that either, but for a glue up it's got plenty of force and it's more than capable. So I'll just release that, and there's a couple of things I need to point out. One of them is the hot glue that I used to make a brake pad. Well, that works pretty good, but the only thing is that actually glues it to the bar when it's put under pressure, so you have to give it a bit of a jiggle to free it up again. If you used a strip of rubber like I mentioned earlier, you wouldn't have that problem, but the hot glue still, it does work. And the other thing I need to mention is there's a little bit of tinkering needs doing, or may need doing. I needed to do it to get this cam to work just right. I had to put a shim in there, so it's a bit of trial and error to get just the right size, but it's not too difficult. And I've been testing it with that size, and that seems pretty good now, so I could glue that in now if I wanted to. This side here didn't need anything at all. This works straight off, no worries at all. So you may have to do that, you may not, but it was easy enough to deal with. The other thing is I didn't glue the dowels in. They seem pretty tight and they don't seem to be moving. If they do, then I'll glue them in later. I'll put a download link in the description for the plans, but before I go, I just wanted to mention, and this is a little uncomfortable, but I've just launched my Patreon page, and while I don't expect anybody to support the channel, if you did, that would be fantastic, and hopefully I'd have something in return that would interest you. I'll be showing content from around the workshop that doesn't make it into these videos, and plus other things as well. So please go and check out my Patreon page, see what you think. But if that doesn't appeal to you, don't worry, keep watching my videos and keep commenting. Every view and every comment I appreciate, and that's thanks enough. So hopefully I didn't put you off then, you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.